For a start, FBI, if you're watching this, there's nothing I really could say. I'm sorry. FBI, open up! Cuties. Shit. What can I say, man? Let's start off with the good stuff. The cinematography and the acting was superb. I'm telling you, this acting was very good. Everybody played their parts so nice. The aunts, the mom, the main character Amy, her friends, everybody played their part so good. And the cinematography, the lighting, oh my god, it would make the room like there was a scene where this priest comes in and he checks on Amy, and the cinematography, it was very dark. It just invoked a very dark mood. At the same time, whoever filmed this movie, yes, you deserve praise, but you also deserve fucking prison. The plot. Surprisingly, the plot isn't all about 11-year-olds shaking their ass with a camera. What it is about is a very deep story. It's actually a pretty good story. It's a good movie. Despite some shit, you know. Oh, we'll get into that bullshit later. I got a whole fucking rant for y'all. The plot revolves around this 11-year-old girl called Amy. And Amy grows, she's having a hard time, you know, balancing the life she grew up with. She grew up in a very conservative, very traditional Muslim family. Her mother's a Muslim, her brother's a Muslim, her father's a Muslim, her grandaunt's a Muslim. And her first day at school, she sees this group of girls called the Cuties. And it's fucking alien to her because she grew up in a community where women were dressing in burqas, head to toe. Like, you cannot see you only see this shit. It looks like fucking Assassin's Creed. And she sees this girls and they're dressing very skimpy. They're dressing in crop tops. They're dressing in, you know, fucking skirts. Like they look like this shit. You know what I'm saying? Very skimpy, very skinny, you know, skinny pants where it shows off their ass and shit, leather pants, skirts, fucking, you know, they're wearing purses, they're wearing makeup. They dress grown, but they're 11-year-olds. And this automatically seduces Amy. Amy's like, fucking hell, who are these bitches? And Amy, you know, at first she's bullied by them, but that only made her want to know them more. So Amy, she starts stalking them. She starts seeing what they do, you know, their dance moves, you know. They see these dance moves and they start fucking twerking and shit, like, bruh. And she's encapsulated by it. She's like, what the fuck? What is this life? I've never seen this before. And she starts copying it a bit. She starts dressing like it. She starts dressing in crop tops. She becomes one of them. And she befriends one of them because she was getting chased by this guy. And she helped her by, you know, like, you can hide in my house and shit. Like, and, you know, she befriends her. And with that, she befriends the other girls. And, you know, more as the plot goes on and on, she becomes one of these girls. You know, she befriends them. She becomes one with the hoe. I shouldn't be calling 11-year-old girls hoe. Anyways, they don't be fucking. It doesn't tell us that. I hope not. I don't want to picture it. But, you know, she's encapsulated by it. She becomes it. She becomes one of them. Back at home, there's this issue going on with her mother and father, because this is the Muslim community's beliefs, this is the traditions. Her father marries a second wife, and when the mom hears this news, it destroys her. It breaks her. She becomes sad by it. You know, she becomes saddened. She becomes depressed. She's crying. There's this one scene where she has to call up everybody and say, like, I'm so happy for my husband, you know. I wish Allah, you know, Allah for the best, you know, like, I hope Allah blesses them. And after, she just starts crying and bawling. And she's crying on the bed, and underneath the bed is Amy, and she's hiding because she's wearing this crop top, and she doesn't want her mom to see. and she hears her mom crying, and she starts crying too, and she feels for her mom, and she thinks to herself, I don't want this fucking life for me. So that even pivots her more with the girls. Eventually, one of the girls gets kicked out of the group because of some webcam. Like they were like on some fucking Omegle, and they turned on the camera and it revealed them, and the guy was like, you guys are fucking kids and shit. And then they got pissed off by it, and they kicked her ass out, which only left the open spot for Amy. And Amy becomes one of the girls. She becomes one with them. They get into some fucking bullshit, some fucking shenanigans. There's one scene where Amy has to take a picture of this boy's penis while he's taking a piss. It doesn't show the penis because Amy, she never held a phone before, so it's really hard for her to take a picture, and they get mad at her like, oh, you just recorded her feet. So Amy, they get over it and shit. Amy does reckless shit with them, and there's this one scene where she's walking with her grandaunt down the street because they have to prep for her father's wedding, and she runs away, and she meets up with her friends, and when she gets back, her grandaunt's sitting right there. Like, where the fuck you been? Like, why'd you just take off on us, dude? And she starts laughing. The grandaunt starts laughing at Amy because Amy just had her first period. You can see, like, it's a scene where, like she has blood right here and shit. And the grandaunt's like, you're finally a woman. It's time you fully embrace your religion. And so they put Amy through it. You know, they buy your shit. They make her very traditional. Amy, her father moves in, and Amy swipes her dad's phone. And there's this Instagram bullshit. She signs up for an account. She's posting pictures of herself, like, like doing duck lips and shit, trying to be like her friends and shit. She becomes encapsulated by social media. She becomes like infatuated. She becomes fucking obsessed with likes. And then her father finds out that, like, Amy, he took her phone, and it's a pretty disturbing scene. Amy runs into the bathroom. Her father's knocking the door. Amy, open up, give me my damn phone. And Amy, she takes off her pants, she takes off her panties, and she takes a picture of her vagina and posts it on the Instagram, gives the phone back to her dad. And the next day at school, Amy's called up to the front row, and as she's walking, this boy fucking smacks her ass, and Amy gets mad, grabs a pencil, fucking stabs him through the fucking hand. Shit happens, and Amy at home, her mom gets fucking pissed at it, starts fucking hitting her and shit. The grandaunt's like, no, stop it. We have to cleanse her. And they're throwing fucking water on her, and oh my god. This is where the bad shit happens, man. There's a scene where Amy starts, while they're throwing water on her, she starts fucking shaking, and it's like she starts having a fucking seizure, and then like the seizure turned into a fucking twerk. She started. The most disturbing scene I've ever seen. Yeah. And then, eventually, the big dance competition happens. And Amy has to decide whether she wants to go to her father's wedding or she has to go to the dance competition. And obviously, she chooses the dance competition. And she's dancing, and oh my god, this scene is terrible. This scene is terrible with a T, capital T, terrible. What everybody expected. And there's a scene where she feels regret, and she hears some mantra, some Muslim song. She hears it in her head, and it reminds her of home. And she runs back home. She runs back with her mother. The mother decides at the end that she doesn't want to enforce and instill this traditional conservative life, nor does she want her to go with those girls which is a terrible side of femininity. So she just allows her to be a normal girl. And the movie ends with this shot, and Amy is playing double dutch, and she's dressed in like just normal 11-year-old girl clothes, and that's where the movie ends. I like the movie. The movie was actually, it had a really nice plot, it had a really nice ending. But like I said, let's move on to the negatives. The director claimed this movie was a message about the harm of child exploitation, childhood sex exploitation, and all that shit. You know, the dangers of pageants, the dangers of dance competitions where they sexually exploit these children. I don't know how the fuck she could say that, but at the same time do the same damn thing. That's like me, JAKUVLOGS, shooting a black guy in the head and recording the whole thing to prove a point that racism is bad. Of course it's fucking bad, but nobody had to fucking see it. The director's name was Maimana Dukure. Look, Mrs. Dukure, I don't think you fucking noticed, but you don't do that bullshit. You don't do that bullshit. In no circumstances should a child be sexually exploited to prove a point. You've essentially become the very thing you sought out to destroy. Let me put it in terms that you know, in French. Baguette, baguette, je m'appelle Big Dick. Pee pee wee wee. See, now if this was a movie about 18-year-olds twerking and shit, it wouldn't be an issue. But this is a movie specifically saying these are 11-year-old girls that are doing these dance moves. Then why the fuck does it have an 18+ rating on Netflix? Look, Maimana Dukure, you essentially added more wood to the fucking fire instead of fucking trying to put it out. You're such a fucking moron. I'm gonna say this in the words that you understand again. Baguette, baguette. When will people fucking learn that sexually exploited children is a bad thing in any circumstance? I can scream and shout at the camera any way I like because it is. It deserves all the shit it can take. And critics, for you saying that this is a good movie and not to worry about anything, you're a part of the problem too because you're condoning this bullshit. Can we get an investigation on the people who reviewed this movie on Rotten Tomatoes and the movie itself? And I'm gonna go back to my first point. Look, you did not solve anything. You added more fuel to the fire. You sexually exploited, what is it? 5 young actresses to this type of bullshit. And guess what? Guess who's gonna pick them up? Guess who the fuck is gonna pick them up? The same motherfuckers in Hollywood that are fucking people, that are raping people, that are asking people to do favors. You handed their asses, their 11-year-old asses to another Harvey Weinstein. Aren't you? Are you proud of yourself? You proud of yourself? I bet you are. Netflix, come on, you're breaking my fucking heart. Come on now, you're a publisher. You are a publisher. You distribute media to the masses. Why would you distribute a movie that is borderline child pornography to the fucking masses? Are you proud of yourself, Netflix? Are you proud of yourself? What, the Stranger Things money wasn't coming enough? You guys wanted more fucking controversy? Jesus Christ! I pray that the 5 young actresses, they get the help they need after this fucking movie. Okay? Because it shouldn't be up to their agents telling them what the fuck they're supposed to say. It should be coming straight from their heart. Straight from their heart. Because after they look at this 10 years later, you think they're gonna be fucking proud? You think they're gonna be fucking proud of it? Hell no. Hell no. Name it. Look, go list every actress that's happy with what they did back in the day. The type of roles they were put in as a young girl. Go look at them. Look at them now. You think they're fucking proud of it? Hell no. Hell no. I'm very disappointed in anybody that said that the movie isn't a problem. Because it is a problem. It is a problem. And the last thing I want to say. Check out the poster they used for the Europe release. Now, let's see what they used for the North American release. I said what I had to say. More JAKUVLOGS coming soon, motherfucker. It's a corny ass outro.